Okay, so today is the 13th or 14th of August, 2022, and today we're going to review a course called the Country Club at Ironwood. Okay, so this course is a kind of a country club. It's part of a kind of a country club. It's a community of houses that are in, let's say, a neighborhood, okay, that has in it a activities organization. So if you were to call this place a country club, it would be a fairly casual country club. And it has its own golf course, yes. It also has its own swimming pool, and that's about it. It has a pretty decent clubhouse there at the country club. I don't know what else is there. Didn't really go diving around in here, but it is one of those interesting kind of golf course pro shops that, you know, like it's been there for years. There's plenty of rental clubs. There's plenty of extra clubs. You know, clubs in abundance. You know, all over the place, and lots of golf paraphernalia there. And it's a pretty nice place. I mean, it's a decent facility, decent course, everything. Not a lot of houses on the courses, but there are some houses. Like the closer you are to the clubhouse, the more houses there are, and then the farther you get away from the clubhouse, there's like nothing. So basically, the first couple of holes away from the clubhouse is there's a street that comes off. Like when you come off 81, I think it's exit 225 off 81. You make that right turn if you're coming south. Then the next right, you'd pass maybe two more houses, and that's it. There are really no more houses anywhere near the course. Now, there's also a Holiday Inn that is, I guess, where that first street goes down to. If you make that first right when you come off of off 81, you make the first right, then you make the next right. That would take you to the Holiday Inn. So there's a Holiday Inn that you can see on the southeast corner of the course, and it goes right up to the Holiday Inn grounds. So that corner of the course is OB, and you drive past it to play 16. The green is there for 16, and then you go past it for 17. Tee box is there for 17, comes back up, and then it makes a left to go back to the clubhouse. So that's like the bottom southeast corner of the course where you're coming back to the clubhouse. And on the first hole, the number one hole is kind of just between the clubhouse and the road that you make when you make the right coming off of 81. Sorry, off the road that comes off of 81. So if you look at the Holiday Inn, it's like at the bottom right of a rectangle, and then there's the bottom left, which is where the clubhouse is, and then there's the houses and the road and stuff. And the course just goes back up into this rectangular space along 81. And I've seen this course quite a few times driving up and down 81. You can see it very easily from 81, but I always kind of like forgot exactly where. Did I see you going in Harrisburg? Did I see you going in Staunton? And I finally found this course on Golf Now, and I've been wanting to play it for a while. Well, if not laid out, been well renovated. They did a nice job laying grass and everything in the fairway and in the rough, but they made a mistake the last time they cut the course of leaving the cuttings in the rough. So you do get these spots where the cuttings have just killed the grass under it. And there's some parts where there's, because it does have so many whoops and stuff, you know, like in the fairway and so forth. There's parts where the course is a little bit too steep, and the water has kind of run through the course, and if not washed it out, it certainly has challenged the grass there. And there's some dead grass in places, and there's some other parts of the course where it's crabgrass and maybe bent grass, I guess, and crabgrass, and it's not like a really great, you know, grass. But most of the course is actually in pretty good shape. It's actually pretty nice, and it has a nice mixture of what I would call trees and air. Okay, where it's not like you're hemmed in by trees and you can't see really up above the trees because the trees are so tall or anything like that. Or it's so open that while there are trees on the course, they're like really on the horizon. And most of the course just this open plain sky. And like in Texas, there's a lot of courses like that where it's just sky, big sky. And that's not really all that interesting, except in this course, because it wasn't like one extreme or the other. There wasn't this hemmed in feeling where there's so many trees and they're so tall and so forth. And there was this big open sky kind of feeling. It was a nice mixture. You have a little, Appalachian Mountain activity going on in the background. It's down near Staunton. It's just past, I want to say Woodstock, but it's not Woodstock. I forgot the exact name, but it's on the road that goes over the Appalachians, the Shenandoah Valley kind of part of the Appalachians to the Blue Ridge Parkway. So this is like the middle entrance of Skyline Drive, if you're familiar with that. Like the northern entrance would be at off 66, right there at Front Royal, and then the next entrance is where Luray comes out, and then the entrance after that is where Staunton is. I want to say Woodstock, but I know it's not Woodstock. It's Staunton is past Harrisonburg, and before you get down to Blacksburg, where the next one, then Roanoke and so forth. Roanoke and all is pretty much at the top of Blue Ridge. The Blue Ridge Parkway. So this is the middle part of Skyline Drive, which is actually pretty cool. You can take this and go east towards 64 and east down towards Richmond. Charlottesburg. Yeah, Charlottesburg is east of here. Slightly northeast. So it's actually a pretty cool part of the middle of central Virginia. It's not like the 5 or 6 hour drive that it would be if you wanted to go all the way down towards the border with Tennessee, which I guess is Berlin or something, and then take 20 east from there, back all the way past Richmond, all the way out to Virginia Beach. It's not that far south by far. It's about halfway there from DC, and it took me literally just about 2.5 hours to get there from downtown, out 66 and then down 81. So it's not a big long drive. It's a little bit farther than Harrisonburg. It's a little bit farther than Winchester. It's a little bit more than driving to like Blue Ridge Shadows, or is that what I'm thinking about? Blue Ridge Shadows or Rock Harbor, anything like that. And it's actually a fairly mellow course. I really enjoyed the course. Had a nice time playing it. I was worried that the noise coming off 81 was going to be a big problem based upon playing like Rocky Mount, which is off 70 towards 68 in Western Maryland. It was nowhere near as bad as that. There was like this muffled kind of occasional hum, pretty mellow, laid back, and just a nice kind of laid back kind of place. I got there about 4, got on the course, ran around taking, pictures and playing, shots and stuff. And I thought I was playing slow, got through the first couple of holes in under 2 hours, got through the whole course in 3.5 hours. And they wanted to tee the cart back in at 8:15. I was in the cart shack with my cart at 7:15, 7:30. So I had plenty of time to play, and I was really just kind of goofing around out there playing, not under really any pressure at all. Not because no one was behind me. There were times occasionally when someone was behind me, but not for long. It didn't really take me a lot of time to get away from them and move on. And pretty much the whole course I had to myself. I think with the exception of like maybe 3 or 4 holes where there was somebody following behind me. And let me tell you, this course was a really nice mixture of a woods course and an open air course and a mountain course. And it just was nice. The condition of the course was quite decent. The greens were very well conditioned, a little soft and spongy under my feet, but they were all sloped. Every green had some kind of slope, top left to bottom right or back to front or something. They were all significantly sloped. None of the putts were easy. None of the chips are easy. They had a decent amount of sand around them. The sand was in good condition, but none of them were super tight, like clogged with waste and long grass and deep, dense ivy and stuff behind the green, or a big slope and drop off, on the sides. There were some holes that did have a good drop off coming down the front, like you're playing across a serious ravine. I'm certainly, number 15 was a really interesting hole in that regard. There were some holes that had some slopes on the sides and rough, and maybe a couple of feet, maybe 3 feet of elevation of over the fairway, but nothing really crazy. I think there was like the number 5, which was this big downhill, 200-yard par 3 from the back tees, 200, maybe 20 yards back tees, something like 200, 220, something like that, from the back tees. That had some steep drop off on the right side, but it still had a ledge with maybe a 15-degree slope away from the green on the right. So it had about 10 to 15 feet of ledge, and then there was a drop off. So there wasn't really anything on this course that was soul sucking, in terms of, if you miss this green, kiss your ball goodbye. It's like there's no way you're going to find it. It was not that hard of a course, yet it was still challenging enough, and it was a slope 127 course. It was about 800 yards from the back tees. I mean, it was a good exercise, a good outing, a good drive, a good time to play. I didn't get there too early where it was hot. It wasn't really even that hot today, but I wasn't there so late that it was dusk. I got done with plenty of daylight, and it was just a good round. It was the kind of round that I hoped to have, going to a course that I'd never been before. This is the reason why I play courses that I have not played before, and I hadn't done this for like a good month or so, and I was like, today I'm going somewhere I haven't gone. I missed the whole thing of going somewhere I haven't gone. Just got on Golf Now, poked a look around, and some of them were too far. I wasn't going out 4 hours. I wasn't going out 3 hours. I wanted something that was reasonably close, like about 2.5 hours, and found it. Boom. And just couldn't really have been happier. Got a couple beers, got in the cart, went out and walked to the first tee and just had a great time. And trust me, I'm not telling you how hard this course is or all the difficulty of the course. There are some holes on this course that are quite challenging, and I would say for the most part, you want to hit where you can see the fairway or where the ball's going to land, but not always. Sometimes it just isn't that tough. Even if you can't see where the ball stops rolling, some of the holes are actually fairly, I would say, considerate, where just hit the ball in the fairway, you'll be fine. Okay, off the tee. I'd say that for the most part in this course, there weren't any holes where there was such a hazard crossing the fairway, where if you hit the ball in the fairway, you could hit into a hazard and you would be in real trouble. This course is not that hard. It's a 129 from the back tees, and yes, it does have serious elevation, and yes, it does have some blind shots, and yes, there are some really cute shots on the course that you got to be, on your toes to play well. There's going to be some shots that challenge you, but there's nothing insanely difficult on this course. It's a good challenge and a good course for people who like to play aggressively. And I like to play aggressively. I had a great time playing this course. I was very tempted to give this course a B+. Now I said, if I give this course a B+, what are people going to think about the other courses I've given a B+? And I will say this. I would say that the one thing I would have not been happy with in the larger scope earlier was the noise coming off 81. But honestly, it wasn't that much noise. The course is far enough south where it's 2-lane on 81. I mean, you are down there when you're talking about Staunton. That is down 81, okay? There isn't that much noise at this point in 81. It's not that far a drive. Yes, it's past GHU. Yes, it's past Harrisonburg. Okay? It could be closer. It's not Twin Lakes or something like that, which is a half an hour, out of Alexandria or something like that. But you're not going to get to this course probably and find out that it's booked solid all weekend. Okay? And it was $60 for 18 with a cart starting at 4 o'clock. Yes, the course is like $100 or something like that earlier during the day, but in the afternoon it drops down to a reasonable price, $70, $60. And thus there's a 15% Golf Now discount now through, I think, the 18th. And it just was a good, solid outing, and I had a great time. And I will give this course a B+ for the overall experience. Decently challenging golf, decent environment, decent course, decent conditions, and just mellow all the way down, okay? It wasn't an outstanding course. It was not outstanding views. And for that reason, it's not going to get an A. I wouldn't give this course an A. I wouldn't give it an A-, but I think it honestly deserves a B+, and that's what I'm going to give it. So the Country Club at Ironwood in Staunton, Virginia, and a B+.